I'm buying as much Bitcoin as I can. Listen.
Hundreds of millions of dollars. Okay. Hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars exposure to Bitcoin. And it will be billions.
I was going to say, so next year when you come back.
You remember the model I told you? So if every time Bitcoin dips, I'm going to get a buyer.
Trust me, I know why you're doing the lending. Listen, you don't have to explain that one around here.
So I got the 50% Bitcoin, I got the Bitcoin lending, but basically what you're going to see is Cantor Fitzgerald is going to be the sponsor of Bitcoin into traditional finance. Mm-hmm. And so we will be the leader of it. And I'll pull out this podcast in years to come and say, see, I told you, because no one's going to remember.
Of course.
Right? But all the banks, after we do it and show people how to do it, they'll all copy. Mm-hmm. And so the asset of Bitcoin will just, as it becomes more accepted, it will become more valuable. And the whole Bitcoin nation should just call it a commodity, never a currency. Mm-hmm. Just call it a commodity. Because if it's a currency, you're attacking the politicians of the country, mm-hmm. right? You're trying to replace my currency with yours. Mm-hmm. But if you say, hey, I'm just oil, I'm just gold, mm-hmm. I'm just a commodity, leave me be, right? Then they'll leave you be. And that is true. And it will be why Bitcoin, which is rare and is special, will become ever more rare, as we both know, ever more valuable over time.
Special and rare. That is the thing you need to take about that. That guy is buying millions, hundreds of millions worth of Bitcoin. Why do you think that is? We are ahead of the curve. And I'm going to explain to you why this little dip before the elections is nothing to be worried about. And why I'm buying as much Bitcoin as possible. See, the elections have caused that dip, both in the S&P 500 and in Bitcoin. And everyone is going crazy. They're saying this is the end. This is the end of Bitcoin. But I think it's going to do that rather than that. And here's why. Now, to understand what I'm talking about, we need to look at some legacy markets such as the S&P 500 and various other investments. If you look, the sentiment of the buyers are not selling. It's an upward movement. They are positive, they are bullish. Yet this election is an area of uncertainty, and there has been some sell-off. But uncertainty can change on a dime. When certainty comes back, no matter who's going to win, this is going to be an upward movement. Whether this will be an upward movement for a prolonged period of time, that is to be seen. But I would say that in the short run, people are still neutral. They're not selling, they're buying. And that's why I'm buying. Also, if you look at the hash rate, it's going up. It's hit 101.65 teraflops. That is insane. That can only push the price of Bitcoin up. That is why I'm buying. If you enjoy what we're doing here, please consider liking, following, and sharing, because I give you things that most people don't hear. Furthermore, if we look at the previous elections, what's happened on the day of the elections, 3, 6, and a year later, majority of the winners or the losers or whoever comes in, within the next 6 months, the majority ends up being positive. See, what you need to also understand is that we believe we're in a bull run. All the signs point to a bull run. And so this and whatever happens in these moments are going to be a blip in the time of history. And Bitcoin, for me, is a long-term hedge. And now, in this dip, I'm buying Bitcoin for cheap. Also, this is really interesting. You know how everyone talks about how Berkshire Hathaway, and extension Warren Buffett, has sold a bunch of its stock and is sitting on cash? The last time that was the case, the stock market hit a 52-week rip. Now, a lot of people have negative feelings about the market. And there are some worries. There are the 10-year yield bonds. There are unemployment issues. There are saving issues. There's the national debt of the US. But all of those things, I feel, are going to be kicked down the road. So you need to be understanding that if we believe we're in a, then you have to act in that way. You need to stick to a view, stick to a plan, see until the data shows that it is different, and you have to go in headstrong. You risk it to win it. That's the way I believe. And I believe that Bitcoin, yes, this guy, has the lowest risk to profit investment that I've seen in a very long time. It is special, it is rare, and it's only going to go up as more people buy. There is no asset like it. There is no asset like it. There is nothing in this world that you buy more of and the price goes up. It is contrary to supply and demand. It is the fact, and it's baked in the rules, the regulations, the restrictions, the understanding of what this will do is baked into its programming. It cannot be changed, it cannot be moved, and this is the fundamental fact of it. I need people to understand this. Make sure everyone else can see this video and understand that these dips, these movements, these 10%, 20%, whatever movements we're talking about, in my opinion, long term, this will outperform every other investment project. Anyway, I'm Alvarez, a 7-figure crypto investor. Like, follow, share, and I will catch you guys later.